contains inputs of Nigerians as a guide to provide a purposeful leadership. He stated that the draft, in line with APC manifesto, will focus on sectoral growth to generate employment and create wealth with the private sector as a driving force.
And those jobs, and the best way to create as many millions of jobs as possible is stimulate, the private sector, deregulate the economy, ensure the flow, unrestricted flow of direct foreign, investment into the country.
Asked about endorsement by some politicians supporting his presidential bid, the former vice president reacts this way.
Don't bother yourself of who endorses me and who does not endorse me. What you should bother yourself with, am I going to be a good president? Have I prepared myself to be a good president? If you believe I am, go and cast your vote for me. If you believe I'm not, take it to anywhere you want to take it.
Alhaji Atiku Abubakar announced plan to hold a policy review summit in Ogun State at Obasanjo's library, October 27th, which he says has no political link between the choice of the venue and his former boss. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN, has commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for the timely distribution of voters' cards nationwide. The national chairman of the party, Dr. Frederick Fashehu, gave the commendation at the party's INEC meeting in Abuja. Ignatius Ukwo reports.
As political activities towards the 2015 general elections hot up, political parties have heightened their strategic meetings. The Unity Party of Nigeria says the early distribution of voters' cards by INEC is a step towards credible elections. The party urged the Electoral Commission to find out reasons for the large number of uncollected voters' cards in some states,
so that politicians can concentrate on their internal selection processes.
Having been in the media for some weeks for intra-party conflicts, the 6-month-old political party decided to iron out its differences.
UPN has not dragged INEC to court, either directly or through a proxy.
I have a moral obligation to prevent violation of our Constitution, protect its sanctity, and ensure obedience to decisions taken by the NEC.
We have insisted, we have made clear that no individual, however powerful, is above the National Executive Committee of the party.
The party members are hoping that the leadership of the party will institute a reconciliation committee to resolve all frictions within the party. In Abuja, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
By way of further assurance, the acting National Organizing Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Alhaji Abubakar Mustafa, insists that there will be no imposition of candidates ahead of the party's primaries. He stated this when the House Leader, Mulikata Konde Adeola, and acting Governor of Taraba State, Alhaji Garba Umar, came for nomination forms to express interest to continue in office. Governorship and National Assembly aspirants were also there. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
PDP National Secretariat is now a beehive of activities as aspirants seek party mandate. House Leader Mulikata Konde Adeola says the urge to make people enjoy more dividends of democracy is the reason behind our seeking to come back for the third time.
And I look forward to further support from them come 2015.
Acting Governor of Taraba State, Alhaji Garba Umar, is the first to pick governorship form in Taraba State. He described his achievements so far as an attestation.
I believe by the grace of God, I'm going to ensure that everyone in Taraba gets the dividend of democracy.
From Niger State, 20 groups picked governorship form on behalf of Alhaji Umar Mohamed Nasku, who was the Chief of Staff to Governor Mazu Babangida Aliyu. They say his leadership quality is exemplary. Others, seeking Senate and House of Representatives seat, expressed conviction that their experience will see them through. The National Organizing Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Abubakar Mustafa, says the PDP will allow internal democracy to prevail.
We believe in that so much, and there is no room for imposition in PDP.
The sale of nomination forms ends on the 30th of this month. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
The leaders and stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, from the 6 geopolitical zones of the country residing in the Capital Territory are appealing to the FCT Minister, Senator Bala Mohammed, to relinquish his gubernatorial ambition and continue his national service as the minister. Correspondent Daniel Manson reports.
Some of the reasons the leaders of the People's Democratic Party from the 6 geopolitical zones resident in the Federal Capital Territory under the leadership of Alhaji Sidi Abubakar wants FCT residents and other Nigerians to join them in prevailing on the FCT Minister Senator Bala Mohammed not to relinquish his ministerial appointment now because of what they say his giant strides in the development of the health, agriculture and education sectors, land administration, improved water supply, resettlement and compensation programs. They said Bala Mohammed's tenure as FCT minister has made the territory to witness infrastructural growth such as construction of monorail within the city and creation of new districts to help decongest the city center despite funding challenges.
So we decided to come together and call on Mr. President to ask Mr. Bala Mohammed Kauram Bauchi to remain as the FCT minister because he brings peace, he brings development, he brings political sanity in FCT.
The FCT PDP geopolitical leaders, while passing a vote of confidence on the leadership of the party in the FCT, also called on President Goodluck Jonathan to obey the clarion call by Nigerians to contest the 2015 presidential election. In Abuja, Daniel Manson, NTA News.
This is Panorama on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We now pause for some messages, more reports when we return. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back. The Nigerian health sector has recorded another milestone as the World Health Organization Good Manufacturing Practice has certified 3 additional Nigerian local drug manufacturing companies. Uchewezo reports that this development, which has opened a new economic vista for Nigeria, was announced at the ministry's press briefing in Abuja. The report.
The World Health Organization pre-qualification has been a challenge to the manufacturing industries over the years. With the pre-qualification of the 3 companies, in addition to the one earlier certified, it is expected that international procurers of essential medicines will improve the patronage of Nigerian African-based pharmaceutical manufacturers.
I'm made to understand that collectively these Nigerian companies spent about $600 million to be able to attain the standards that were prescribed by the World Health Organization when WHO first made the assessment visit. It is in this regard that government will seriously consider certain incentives in order to enable the local drug industry to be able to pay back these loans and to be able to continue their development.
In a similar development, the ministry and its partners planned the Nigeria Hospital Exhibition and Fair 2014 to showcase the locations of Nigerian-based hospital facilities, services and professional expertise to the public, with the aim of stemming the tide of medical tourism.
And to promote Nigeria as a preferred destination for patients and to serve as a hub for regional medical tourism seeking high quality and cost-effective procedures and treatment.
The event will commence next week in Abuja. Uche Winzu, NTA News.
Anambra State government says it has intensified efforts to stem the menace of erosion in the state. Joy Tony Amako reports on the strategies put in place by government to nip the scourge in the bud. The report.
For over 3 decades or more, the people in southeast region of Nigeria have been battling with gully erosion, which has resulted to loss of lives and property. Reports show that Anambra State is the worst hit in the country, as it has over 1,000 erosion sites of varying degrees and dimensions scattered in virtually every community in the state. Although other states in the southeast geopolitical zone have some degree of the environmental monster, none compares to the intimidating number and sizes of the erosion sites in Anambra. Experts say the state is prone to greater ecological disaster if no serious intervention is structured to combat the awful degradation. Various efforts made by indigenous people to checkmate the menace amount to naught in the face of the rampaging landslide.
But all effort is you can see. We saw some of the bamboo, some are already in the gully, and even our covert is in the gully.
Most trees that is around and the bamboos that we planted, they started rooting them. Up to now it's coming this in, and then we started crying.
However, the state government says it has carried out an assessment of the ecological problem in the state, pointing out some man-made causes of gully erosion to include illegal sand excavation, building on waterways, deforestation and improper refuse disposal. The commissioner said the ministry is ready to bring to book anyone caught in these acts. In Oka, Joy Tony Amako, NTA News.
Nigeria has put in place contingency plan to absorb any shock that may arise from the dwindling oil prices. The coordinating minister of the Nigerian economy, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, made this known at a joint media briefing with the central bank governor on the gains of the IMF World Bank Group meeting in Washington, D.C. Correspondent Bosedi Adebayo has that report.
Nigeria's outing at the International Monetary Fund World Bank Group annual meetings was impressive, given her success story in containing Ebola, which was widely talked about at the various sessions where the challenge of Ebola in the West African sub-region was mentioned. And talking about other measures to sustain the current economic growth, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, at a news briefing, said the right mix of policies remains the strategy.
We are not planning to go to the IMF or anybody to get resources at this moment. That is the pride we've had. Ever since we've been managing this economy, we've not had to do that. There are no plans. Now, if you don't want to do that, what else would you have to do? You have to look at your revenue and expenditure side to see how you prepare. At least we'll be able to increase our revenues, but actually it's helped us because during the time when quantities were a little lower, because we ramped up on non-oil revenue collection.
The central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, said Nigeria will strengthen the regulatory environment to put in check some of the identified risks.
But there are certain risks that have been identified. Risks that are particularly in the financial system, risks that means that we need to do a lot more, particularly in ensuring that we continue to sustain the financial system stability that we have worked very hard to achieve.
And talking globally, the world is in a very uncertain mood, but the prospect for the low-income countries looks bright. In Washington, D.C., the United States of America, Bosedi Adibayo.
Thank you, Bosedi. Akwa Ibom State Governor Godswill Akpabio says the Ibom International Stadium, recently completed, will be inaugurated next month by President Goodluck Jonathan. The governor stated this when the new president of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, Amaju Melvin Pinnick, came on an inspection tour of the facility in Uyo. Jesse Bassi has that report.
Welcoming the new president and members of the NFF board, Governor Akpabio said the facility is his modest contribution to the game of sports in the state and country. He noted that the completion of the Ibom International Stadium is a testimony of his administration's commitment and determination to bring about an upsurge in sporting activities. Governor Akpabio said the state government has signed a 10-year maintenance contract with the construction company to ensure that the facility is kept up to standard.
So when I became a governor, I said I will not moan. I'll do my best to bring what I see outside to my state and by implication to Nigeria. I think what we have done here has challenged governance in Nigeria. Not just the infrastructure, but the zeal and the speed and the commitment to bring about a change.
President Nigerian Football Federation Amaju Pinnick described the stadium as a majestic, timeless architectural edifice that is a pride not just to Nigeria, but West Africa. He pledged to partner the state government to see that the facility is kept busy. He therefore announced that on November 19, 2014, Nigeria will play South Africa in the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifier in the stadium.
The NFF, when we set up our technical committee, they are going to liaise with the state government and see how we can, because this facility needs to be kept busy. We need to keep it busy, since it's our pride. And we also need to see how other states can develop and improve on what they have.
The Ibom International Stadium has a 30,000 seating capacity and will be commissioned on November 6, 2014. In Uyo, Jenny Bassi, NTA News.
As we go, it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. We thank you for staying with us. There will be more reports on Nationwide on the network service at 4 p.m. Do join us then. I am Ronke Kolawole. Thanking you for being there. Good afternoon.